Hi guys, and welcome back to another Tech Tutor Thursday video. This week and next we are going to be learning how to use Microsoft Word, and today we are going to be covering the basics of using and navigating Word. Next week we will go over how to use different formatting and editing tools. Today we are going to be going over terminology and descriptions, accessing Word, basic elements, tabs and groups, saving documents, creating and opening documents, as well as printing documents. So let's get started. Okay, so getting started, Microsoft Word and other applications do require a subscription. Sometimes when you get a new laptop or computer, you can get a free trial. And then of course you can always use Word for free at the library. So today we are going to be going over the basics of Microsoft Word in order to better orient ourselves to the different functions on Word, as well as how to navigate Word and so on. So we are going to begin by going over some different terms that are useful to know when using Word. So first off, Microsoft Word is an application for creating and working with text-based documents. Examples of things you can make with Microsoft Word include letters, memos, resumes, essays, cover letters, flyers, and so much more. And then next, our first definition is going to be the ribbon. So the ribbon is the area at the top of the screen where commands are organized into tabs, icons, and groups. So here we have an example of what the ribbon looks like. And basically, this is the command center where you can access most everything on Word. So that leads us into tabs. And tabs, as you can see, are the different places you can go to reach different icons within the ribbon. So there are 8 tabs in addition to the File tab, and these include the Home, Insert, Page Layout, References, Mailings, Review, and View tabs. And then our final definition is going to be groups, and these are going to be related task functions that are organized together. So we can see that right here at the bottom of the ribbon. So the name of the group is below its task buttons, and then additional tasks are accessible by clicking on the dialog box found in the bottom right-hand corners of the different groups. And then of course, under each task within each group, we have different icons, such as these font icons, the paragraph icons, and so on and so forth. Okay, and so now I'm going to demonstrate how to access Word. So Word can typically be accessed in a few different ways. First, we can go to the Start menu in the bottom left-hand corner of our desktop, and then when we click on this, we see our menu. Sometimes Microsoft Office applications are grouped together under Microsoft Office, and sometimes they appear individually. In my case, my different Microsoft Office applications appear separately, and everything is in alphabetical order, so I can scroll down to the bottom and find Word. If your Office applications are grouped together, they may be found by going to the IMS and then clicking on Microsoft Office. Another way to access Word is by using the desktop icon shown here. So to open Word, I would just double-click this icon. Okay, so now we move on to the basic elements of Microsoft Word. Okay, so this is what Microsoft Word looks like when we have it opened up on our computer. So first of all, we have our document window, which displays the current document you have open when you open Word. Next, we have the title bar, which displays the document name and is located in the top middle area of the window. To the left of that, we have the Quick Access toolbar, and this includes buttons for saving documents, undoing actions, repeating actions, and printing. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the status bar, and this is what tells us how many numbers of pages and words we have in our document. To the right of that, we have the view buttons, which control the way we view our document. And then finally, we have our zoom slider in the far right-hand corner. And this allows us to increase or decrease the document size by using these plus or minus icons. In the top right-hand corner of the page, we have our minimize, maximize, and close options. So here is where we can make the current document smaller, larger, or we can close it. So the minimize button keeps documents open, but moves it off of the screen and into the system tray at the bottom of the window. To access the document again, all you would need to do is click on the document icon in the system tray. And then we have the restore down or maximize function. So this can reduce the document to appear in a half screen view. To access the document again, you would just click the window icon again. Finally, we have the close button. So this closes the document and it will prompt us to save any changes we made to the document. Beneath that, we have our scroll bar and arrows, which allows us to scroll up or down in the document. All right, so now we move on to tabs and groups in Microsoft Word. Word has 8 different tabs plus the File tab. Each tab contains different groups that allow us to perform specific tasks for related functions, such as manipulating paragraphs or adjusting fonts. Within each group, we have different icons, and these icons allow us to perform different functions. But we also have dialog boxes, which allow us to access additional commands in each group. You will just click on the downward-facing arrow in the lower right-hand corner of a group to access these options. Now I am going to go through each group and provide a summary of the things you can do in that group. I will leave specific tasks to next week when we learn about editing and formatting. All right, so beginning with the Home tab. The Home tab contains the following groups related to basic document editing. These include the clipboard, font, paragraph, styles, and editing groups. So beginning with the clipboard, this is what is responsible for cutting, copying, and pasting within your document. When we move on to font, this is responsible for changing the font in your document, including bolding things, underlining, font style, font size, and font color. Next, we have the paragraph group, and this includes things such as creating bullet points, numbered lists, indentations, and tabs. Styles allows us to format our text with predefined styles made for headings, emphasis, titles, and other things. And finally, we have editing, and this allows us to find and replace text and work with objects. Okay, so now we move on to the Insert tab, which contains the pages, tables, illustrations, links, header and footer, text, and symbols groups. So beginning with the Pages group on the far left side, this is what allows us to insert a cover page, an extra page, or a page break in our document. Moving on to Tables, this is what allows us to add a table in our document. Next, we have Illustrations, and that is what allows us to insert a picture, shape, chart, or screenshot into your document. Next, we have Links. Right here, and this is what allows us to insert hyperlinks, bookmarks, or cross-references into our document. The header and footer allows us to insert page numbers and a header or footer into the document. And then the text one allows us to add a text box, word art, date, timestamp, etc. Finally, we have Symbols, which allows us to add symbols or equations. Next up is the Design tab, which includes the themes, document formatting, and page background groups. So first, starting with the Themes group, this is what allows us to add a color or font theme to our document. We also have the Document Formatting group, which allows us to insert a specific layout or font theme. And then finally, we have the Page Background group, which allows us to add a watermark, a colored background, or a border to our document. Okay, and now we have the Page Layout tab, which includes 3 groups, and those are Page Setup, Paragraph, and Arrange. So Page Setup is what allows us to adjust margins, page orientation, document size, hyphenation, etc. Next, we have Paragraph, which allows us to adjust indentations and spacing in our document. And then finally, we have Arrange, which allows us to position images, adjust layers, align, and wrap text within our document. The References tab contains groups related to writing papers and reports, and these include table of contents, footnotes, citations and bibliography, captions, index, and table of authorities. So beginning with table of contents, this is what allows us to create a table of contents. And then we have footnotes, which allows us to add footnotes or endnotes to our document. And then we have citations and bibliography, which is what allows us to create in-text citations and bibliographies for our document. Next, we have captions so that we can add captions to any graphics or images we're using in our document. Then we have index, which lets us add an index. And finally, we have table of authorities, which lets us add a list of cases, statutes, and other authorities if you were writing an essay or a paper. The mailings tab includes groups related to creating mailing lists. So these include create, start mail merge, write and insert fields, preview results, and finish. So create is going to allow us to create document type envelopes or labels. Start mail merge is going to allow us to create a form letter and select recipients to send it to. The write and insert fields will allow us to create a greeting, add an address, and insert fields. Preview results will allow us to see what your document will look like and check for errors. And then finally, finish here on the right-hand side allows us to generate the mailing list or form letters. The Review tab includes groups related to editing and versioning documents, and this includes proofing, language, comments, tracking, changes, compare, and protect. So proofing allows us to check spelling, grammar, word count, or use the thesaurus. Language allows us to translate the document into another language. Comments allows us to add or view comments to the document. And then tracking allows us to keep track of changes made to the document and select how changes are displayed. Changes allows us to accept or reject proposed changes to the document. Compare allows us to compare two versions of the document or view comments from multiple editors in one document. And protect allows us to restrict editing or block authors from editing our document. The View tab contains groups related to how documents are viewed. So this includes document views, show, zoom, window, and macros groups. So starting with document views, this allows us to select how the document appears on the screen. Show allows us to display rulers, grid lines for aligning objects and navigation panes. Zoom allows us to increase or decrease the size of the document in the window, view one or more pages, or adjust the page width. Window is going to let us open a second window, split a window, or stack windows so you can see different parts of your document at the same time. And macros is what is going to allow us to create a shortcut to a frequently performed task, such as adjusting bullet point margins in your document. Okay, and finally we have the File tab, which contains commands related to what users do with a document once it's created. So these include the info, new, open, save, save as, print, share, export, close, account, and options groups. So first of all, info is going to be what allows us to protect a document, see version information, inspect the document, and view a document's properties. New allows us to create a new document within Word, and then open allows us to open an existing document. Save is what allows us to save a document to its currently saved location, and save as allows us to save a document to a new location. Print obviously allows us to print the document. Share allows us to email, upload a document to OneDrive, post it to a blog, or add it to a presentation. And then export allows us to create a PDF or change the document type. Close closes the document. Account allows us to modify account information, change background themes, and then see product information. And finally, options lets us adjust display, language, general, and other options for documents. Okay, so now we are going to move on to saving documents. So the first time you save a document in Word, you should select Save As so that you can select the location where the file will be saved. Just selecting Save does not give you the same control over where the document will be saved, which can make it much harder to find later. To save your document, you'll just follow these simple steps. First, you're going to click on the File tab, which is always in the top left-hand corner of Word. And then you'll come down to the Save As button. After that, You are going to double click on the computer icon to show all available drives and locations in your computer. You will then click on the location where you want to save the file. So that could be desktop, that could be documents, it could be downloads, as you can see on the left-hand side here, or it could be a folder that you've already created within your computer. After that, you will select where it says file name, and you can rename that document whatever you want, and then you will click Save. Once you have saved your document to a specific location within your computer, you can just click Save in the Quick Access toolbar that is up in the top left-hand corner of Word, so that you can save your work as you go. Alternatively, you could also come to File and then click Save. And now, as we start to wrap up this presentation, I'm going to show you guys how to create and open documents in Word. So all you'll need to do is come over here to the File tab. And then if you want to create a new document, you'll just click on New. And then here we have different templates. So you could go through and look at the different templates available. You could also search for online templates, or you could just click here for blank document. To open an existing document, you'll just come back up here to File, and then you'll click Open. And then here we have all of the documents in our computer. So these are going to be my most recent ones I've been working on, but I could also go to this PC. And then here's where I could go through my different folders and I could explore my computer to find the file that I'm looking for. So let's say I want this outline. I'll just click on that. And then there we are. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to print your documents once you're done. So all we're going to do is go up to the File tab in the top left-hand corner of the page, and then we're going to click on Print. From there, you will see different settings. You'll want to select the appropriate printer. You can adjust any settings as shown here, such as number of copies, stapling options, two-sided printing, etc. And then once you're done, all you're going to do is click Print. All right, guys, so that wraps up part 1 of our Microsoft Word tutorial. Today, we went over the very basics of using Word so that we had a better understanding of how to use it and navigate it. Next week, we will learn about different formatting and editing tools that you can use when you are creating documents in Word. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. I will put my email on the screen here. But also, now you can join me back in the library. Stop in for Tech Tutor drop-in hours on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. or join me on Fridays from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can also make an appointment with me outside of those hours by calling the library or filling out our form online. I will include all of this information below in the description box, but you can also find it on our Facebook page and our website. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.